Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone is doing well today. Thanks a lot for tuning in. As always, shout out to all the subscribers. Big up to anyone new. Gratitude to you. Let's talk about Nikita Tszyu. He is fighting Danilo Creati on Wednesday. Actually, a Wednesday night, a little Wednesday night boxing in Australia. This is a interesting fight because I just made a film study on Nikita Tszyu a couple of months ago. Actually, I'll leave the link up here if you didn't see that. But he has been in through some quite, brutal fights, really, to be honest. His last two fights against Brubaker and Biggs have been, I wouldn't quite say life and death, but they're fights that, you can't have too many of those because that will really shorten your career. And, you want a fighter to really just use their mind a little bit and box a little bit more. And that's what I said in the film study, actually. And I think that this matchmaking is actually quite intelligent because Creati, Italian, I think he lives in Australia, but he is quite slick. He's got some good moves. He lacks power, but what he lacks in power, he makes up a lot for in intelligence. He's got good footwork. He's got some silky moves. And he's very, very, very hard to hit. And it will be a challenge for Nikita Tszyu to be patient, have to deal with the mover, understand he's got to take his time. He's going to have to use his jab. He's got a really beautiful jab. It's just, it doesn't use it enough, consistently enough. And I think in this fight, he's going to have to really use it. And just stay with the program, stay with the game plan, not get too frustrated. Because when you are fighting fighters like this, Creati, who, they are looking to counterpunch, and they are looking to spoil, they are looking to move, and they're looking to move so they offset your feet, because Nikita Tszyu is a puncher. I mean, he's a ferocious puncher, especially with that left hand to the body. But a lot of times he does land that left hand to the body. Fighters are fighting on the inside, which is not something Creati should ever do or will do. He'll be out of there, so that will neutralize some of that. So it'll be interesting to see how Nikita Tszyu is able to set up his power shots. But his jab is so powerful, he should just, almost stick to using that and let the power shots come. Because landing twos and threes against somebody like Creati is going to be incredibly difficult. But landing the jab, it will be a lot easier, especially if he jabs with him. I think personally, because Creati is very good at reading you. Like I said, he's got good head movement. He's very slick. He's got good footwork. He can step back and spoil the fight a little bit and be probably be more patient than you, because that's the game he normally plays. And Nikita Tszyu likes to rumble. He likes to rumble and get stuck in there. So it will be a challenge for him. A completely different, almost the exact opposite type of challenge that the Brubaker and the Biggs fight had, where there were moments where they were boxing a little bit, but ultimately it ended up being who's tougher than who competition. And that's not going to be this one, unless Nikita Tszyu is able to land something, and Creati's trying to hang in there. But I haven't watched loads of him. I saw the Zerafa fight. Zerafa looked, a little flat in that fight, if I'm honest, but he still got the victory. And, Creati, the thing is, because he can't really punch, he's really just looking to outpoint you and counterpunch you, frustrate you a little bit, and, outmaneuver you. But it could be, when I say long night, I don't mean it like that. I think Nikita Tszyu will win, and I think he will win on points. But I think there'll be moments where he'll be challenged to be patient, like I said, to stick with his jab, to just think about it. And I think back to the matchmaking, I think that's actually a really excellent matchmaking, because it could be the type of fight that isn't that entertaining. And when you have fights that have been so entertaining, you almost build up that expectation for fans to have, Nikita Tszyu, this blood and guts, the butcher, like it's part of his DNA. And when fans show up, they expect that. They might not know much about Creati, or I'm sure some will, but it could be quite a dull affair because of Creati's style and because of his awkwardness and perhaps his ambition. And he knows that Nikita Tszyu can punch, so he's going to be even more cautious. So what kind of ambition is he going to have with with combinations and being more aggressive? Because, like I said, he's more of a one pop shop type of fighter. Frustrate you, move you around, jab, counter punch, feint a little bit, move. He's got some silky moves. He really does. So you know, in terms of Nikita Tszyu, like I said, mix up that jab, keep the jab going, jab with him, his jab to the body is one of the best I've seen. It's beautiful, it's sturdy, it's thick, the timing of it's really good, the form is really good. He's got a beautiful vertical jab, which is, if you're jabbing like that, that's a normal jab. A vertical jab is when you turn the fist to the side and you shoot up. It helps you get in the gloves, it gives you a different angle, so bam, like that. I think Nikita Tszyu should just mix up his jab. Keep jabbing though. Even if he's getting jabbed, I think the jab's going to be the most important punch for both guys. And as I said, if Nikita Tszyu is able to jab with him, back him up, he's going to have to also learn how to cut the ring off. It's a very, very a lost art. Maybe I'll make a separate video on it, because in essence, you know, it's very hard to cut a ring off against somebody like Creati, who's quick on his feet. He understands the ring, you know, he's used to being in that position. He's used to being on the back foot, so they can read the ring more cerebrally, it seems, you know. But you have to try to guide and, you know, anticipate where your opponent's going. Nikita Tszyu I'm talking about here. He has to try to, you know, make the ring feel smaller, so then he can get to the get Creati in a place where he can let his shots go and get closer and let his hands go and do some damage. Because as much as I say the jab is going to be the most important, there are going to be moments where he can try to corner Creati and let his hands go and bully him on the inside, especially downstairs. But cutting the ring off, not just is it the basics of you anticipating where your boxer's going to go and being where, you know, where they are, where they're moving to. You've got to step over, make them have to, like, you know, feel a bit more frantic, because that's what it does. It psychologically drains them a little bit. And then over the course of a few rounds, you know, when they start to tire, and that's why I target in the body too, especially jabs to the body will slow them down, because his legs will go. If you start touching the body, the legs start to go. And then maybe, just maybe, Nikita Tszyu might get a late stoppage, maybe. But I do see this fight going on points, and I do see it being good matchmaking, in the sense that I think it'll be good experience for Nikita Tszyu, but I also think it could be a frustrating few rounds in there for him to get, you know, pin this guy down. They're not there to fighters like Creati, you know, they're not there to bring the crowd the noise and the show. They're really not. They're there to frustrate you. And it's important that you don't let yourself get frustrated, and mentally you stay with it, you stay patient, you stay on your jab, and you stick to the game plan and systematically try to close the gap as much as you can. Don't waste shots, don't telegraph them, and, you know, try to do what you can to win the fight, because you are the bigger, stronger guy. You have got a better jab, I think. Creati's got a good jab, but they're different. Nikita's got a more versatile jab. But ultimately, I do see Nikita being far too much, and I think he's going to win on points. But it'll be a really good experience for him, because he'll be learning how to box, and he'll be learning how to deal with, as I said, the mentality of a more negative fighter that doesn't want to engage. When he's in his last couple of fights, is all he's been doing is just engage, getting in, you know, wars with guys. So interesting matchup, interesting fight. Nikita Tszyu on points. Let me know your thoughts. Tim Tszyu video coming tomorrow or Tuesday on his offense. Thank you very much for anyone that's watched this far. Thank you to the subscribers. I hope you have a lovely weekend. Peace. I'm out.